Hi everyone, today I'm going to film a little bit of an art haul video for you. I was debating about what to actually film today. I have an hour or so in which to do something and I'm kind of thinking we'll go with the art haul. It's only a small one so we can do the haul and the swatching all in one video. I also want to do at some point soon a sketchbook video because my sketchbook time series was something I really enjoyed filming. I love the fact that it made me sit down and actually work in my sketchbooks, which I haven't been doing that much just recently. And it's kind of a chance for us to, I look at those videos as a chance for us to sort of sit down together, and you're working on your projects and I'm working on mine, and I just kind of chat along to you. It's a very informal kind of style of video, and I really feel like working on some more of those to add to that playlist on my channel. So we'll try and get back into the swing of doing those. But for today, because I haven't got much time and would quite like to open these boxes because I've had them for a few days, we're going to just have a little look at what I've got in here. As I said, isn't much. It's just a few more art materials from my Jackson's wish list that I have purchased with my affiliate credit, plus I did add a bit of my own money towards these as well. And I have a couple of books that I want to show you as well. I'm just going to show you what they are today, and then I think I'll do a separate video on those. But yeah, we'll definitely be swatching these today. I'm quite excited about what's in here. So without further ado, I'm just going to open them up and we'll have a look. Can I just say that I love the fact that Jackson's don't use any plastic tape in their packaging. It's all paper tape, paper inside cardboard boxes. This is brilliant, and this is what we want from our companies, because so many people are still using so much plastic. And I know for myself, speaking personally, when I'm wrapping paintings, I do actually tend to use bubble wrap. I would like to find an alternative to that, but I do reuse bubble wrap that has come in orders that I've placed, so I am kind of recycling it. But I really would like to get to a stage where I'm just basically, oh, it's a very, very loud helicopter outside. I don't know whether you can hear that. But yeah, as I was saying, I'd like to get to the stage where I'm basically just using recyclable packaging. So well done, Jackson's. As you can see, there's not much in here. I'd forgotten I'd ordered this actually. I thought about ordering one of these for quite a long time, but because I don't think they're light fast, although it does have a couple of little stars on there, so maybe that indicates a certain level of light fastness, I don't know. But it's the Stabilo Woody 3-in-1 pencil, and I think initially they were made for children. Am I right in thinking that? It does say something along those lines on the Jackson's website, that they're really chunky for little children's hands to hold easily. But I know that some people use these in their sketchbooks, and they add layers of these like for texture and marks, and you can lay down quite a lot of colour in one go. So do you know what? They weren't very expensive. I decided to just order one of them. So in here we have just a few tubes of watercolour paint. I thought I was done getting watercolours, and then I watched Aliona's video, one of her recent ones where she's doing some botanical paintings. Her channel is called Aliona's Watercolour Creations. If you type that in, you'll get to it. If I can remember, I will leave a link beneath this video. So I wanted to order, after seeing some of her greens, I wanted to experiment more with greens because, oh, there's a yellow in here too, because as you know, or maybe you don't, if you follow me you know, I'm kind of specific about the type of greens I like to use, and they tend to be bluish greens. But I am gradually finding that I'm just loving other types of green. I know it's a complete shocker. Actually, I'm going to put these to the side and then I can show you one by one. It's a little bit easier. So yeah, the lemon yellow was a colour I've had on my wish list on Jackson's for a while. Just thought maybe a super bright, I know this is very unlike me, but a really super bright yellow. I thought this might be good for creating some mixes, but also I'm getting kind of excited by colour just lately, and I'm looking at other watercolour artists and I'm seeing how they use colour, and yeah, I've kind of had my eye on this one, thinking it was a really fresh looking colour. So I know it's very unlike me to have a bright yellow, but you know what, that's what art's all about, pushing yourself and experimenting. So we'll see what I can do with that, but we'll give it a swatch later. And the greens I have here, this one doesn't actually look green on the tube, but it is Perylene Green. Now I have the Roman Schmoll Perylene Green, but when Aliona swatched the Schmincke Horadam version, I thought it looked so beautiful, and so I got myself a little tube. These are just the 5mm tubes, because I didn't want to commit too much. I wanted to see which ones I really liked. And here we have Prussian Green. I mean, admittedly that looks blue on the strip there. I'm assuming it doesn't when you swatch it. This is where the swatching is going to come in handy. But yes, somebody told me about this Prussian Green. So this wasn't featured on Aliona's video. Somebody actually told me about this, I think maybe a couple of months ago. She said to check out the Schmincke Horadam Prussian Green because, can we see that on here, it's not made with PB27, which has problems with fading. I can't actually see it on here. Where is it? Oh, here we are. It's on the side there. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. PG7 and PB60. So this should be a less problematic Prussian Green because I love this colour, but my Daniel Smith version does fade. It doesn't fade dramatically, it kind of just loses its bluish tone and fades to more of a yellowish green, which is still actually quite a pretty colour, because I'm going to do an update on the light fast tests in a few weeks, so you can see currently running light fast tests on several of my paints, including the Daniel Smith Prussian Green. Anyway, this one is light fast, really happy about that. I think this one was in Aliona's video as well. This is the Chromium Oxide Green. I just thought this was a really nice mid-green, a sort of basic green really. Just seemed quite nice, so I thought I would try it. And the other one I've got, I did see in her video as well, or one of her recent videos, and this is Viridian. So I don't have a Viridian. I really like the colour. I don't know why I don't have a Viridian because it is actually quite a good mixer, and I did want to try and make my own version, a light fast version of Daniel Smith's Moonglow, for which you do need a Viridian. So yeah, I have that now. I still need to get, I think it's quinacridone coral. I think you mix that with ultramarine blue or something like that and you get Moonglow. I've got it written down somewhere. Anyway, the other one we have here is the Daniel Smith Sap Green. Now Sap Green isn't a green that I thought I would be using in my palette, but I wanted to get a good range of greens because I'm actually really liking how greens look when they're all together. So do you know what? I thought I would go with it and we will see what they all look like. So I'm quite excited to swatch these because yeah, this is like going into slightly new territory for me, because I'm kind of getting into, sorry I knocked the thing, I'm kind of getting into greens more recently. Greens were something I didn't use in my work at all really until recently, and I kind of ventured into using the more earthy greens and bluish greens, but it'll be really nice to have a proper palette of greens. So we'll put these little babies aside and then we'll swatch them in a bit. So in this package, let's have a look and see what I ordered. I think, oh, in here, not very successfully doing this, I think I have some golden acrylic paints and also a few more coloured pencils, some of which have been suggested to me by my subscribers. So let's have a look. Just get rid of that. Actually, let's put the little woody pencil over here, or I'll forget to swatch him, won't I? So Jackson's tend to reuse these pencil boxes for transporting your pencils to you, which is a really good idea. Oh, look at these colours. You see them in there. They're looking gorgeous. Very, very into pinks and lilacs at the moment. I made a bit of a boo-boo, but I realised after I'd ordered, actually, this one, the Midnight Black. Someone recommended this to me, and I didn't realise I'd forgotten that I'd already ordered this one. So now I have two. I mean, I really like the colour, but for some reason it didn't register with my brain that I already had Midnight Black. But never mind, we have another one. It's a colour I use a lot anyway, so that will be fine. Dusky Pink, Don't Light Fast. This has been on my wish list for a little while, so I decided to take the plunge and get it. And then Oyster, which seemed to be another really lovely, subtle, beautiful, very, very pale pink colour. Don't Light Fast. And the other Don't Light Fast is Mars Black, which I in fact don't have, and this was also suggested to me by the subscriber who suggested the Midnight Black. And she also said to me to check out Sea Fog. I mean, what a brilliant name. I don't know whether is it focusing? There you go. The Holbein Artist's coloured pencil in Sea Fog. That is a beautiful looking colour. And then finally, I ordered a Luminance. Now, you know, Luminance are one of my favourite brands of colour. They may actually be my favourite brand of coloured pencil. And I ordered their Ultramarine Pink because I actually hadn't tried this one. I don't know why I haven't, because look at that. That's an incredible colour. I guess because now I'm getting much more into pinks. I quite liked them years ago, but I was never sort of really into them, and now I'm loving them mixed with greys. I'm loving them mixed with greens. So yeah, I think my art is going in a slightly different direction, which is always quite interesting, isn't it? Keeps things fresh. Okay, so we have 3 more golden acrylics to add to the ones I already have. What I'm going to do, I keep promising you this, I am going to be filming a golden acrylics video where we will swatch all of the colours I have. I mean, I have a fairly large collection now, I think about 20 something colours. I'm not 100% sure exactly how many. I still have a few on my wish list at Jackson's that I would like to buy when I have some more affiliate credit, but for now I've ordered these ones, Burnt Umber, because this is a colour I like to have in my palette anyway. Prussian Blue hue, so it doesn't have all of the problems of the normal Prussian colours, the fading issues, because they have used, there you go, there are the pigments, PBK9, PB15:0 and PV23. So it's a bit more of a stable mixture, which is nice. Really good night sky colour, that one. And Cobalt Violet hue, which my love of violets at the moment knows no bounds. I think they said that they had mixed it with, yeah, several different pigments to match a historical colour. So I thought that was really pretty. So what I will do is I'll add these to my other ones, and I will film a big old golden acrylics swatching video for you, so you can have a look at all the colours. And I would also like to create some artwork. I don't really show you that much of my acrylic artwork, and it's actually quite a large part of what I do. You see the finished paintings, but you don't actually get to see them in progress very much. And really this is a case of it being much easier for me to film when I'm working at the desk, which is why you see pencil drawings, mixed media, watercolour, anything on paper. and when I'm at the easel it's a little bit harder to film, but hopefully if I can figure out some kind of filming setup I could do that for you. But anyway, we will definitely swatch them and I will show you hopefully some artwork that I've made with them. I just have a couple more things that I want to show you, but these are books and they will be featured in a book video that will be coming up soon. Okay, so here they are. Now both of these were suggested to me. The Pebble Spotter's Guide, this is a National Trust book, written by Clive Mitchell and illustrated by Ella Sienna. What a brilliant name for an artist. This was suggested to me by somebody on Instagram. She'd seen this and she thought that I would like it because, as you know, I'm very much into beach combing, and so I ordered it on Amazon. It is a beautiful book. It has all of the different pebbles that you might possibly come across on the beach. Each one beautifully illustrated, so it tells you a little bit about each one. And then what I really liked is a little section for you to fill in. I spotted this pebble at and on. So I thought that would be really fun. I'm not going to show you any more of that now because we will have a proper look at it in a book video that I would like to film very soon. So with this one, as you can see, it's still wrapped in plastic. I'm not going to unwrap it today. I want to unwrap it on camera so we both look at it together. We both, as if you're here with me, we both look at it together at the same time. And I'm very excited because this is the Royal Academy of Art's kind of like their catalogue of the exhibition that's running at the moment, which is David Hockney's paintings of spring in Normandy last year. These are iPad paintings, which is quite exciting. There's a fantastic video online. If you go to the Royal Academy of Art's channel here on YouTube, you will get to see a virtual tour of the exhibition. I would highly recommend it, whether you know David Hockney's work or not. It is absolutely beautiful. It's uplifting, it's inspiring. Just watching it, I actually felt quite emotional. So prepare yourself. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to look at this. This is a lovely little memento of the exhibition. That's how it looks on the back. But yes, as I say, we will have a good look at that. I'm going to feature both of these new books in a separate video where we'll have a really good look through. I want to do a series of book videos. This is going to be an ongoing series where I share some of my favourite art books, books that inspire me, whether they're art related or not. Sometimes I just have books for reference that really inspire my work. I don't necessarily work directly from them, but the ideas within them can inspire some paintings. So you seem to like it when I feature books. I'm really a complete book lover. I have a large library of books and they're very important to me. It's a very important part of my life. So yeah, I'm going to continue to do that. So yes, we will have a look at that next time, but let's get on to swatching these little lovelies and just have a look and see what they look like. By the way, I forgot to mention that one of my subscribers here on YouTube, Matt, mentioned this book to me. So I wanted to say thank you, Matt, because it looks really beautiful just from the cover. And I have had a look at the inside of it on the Amazon listing. So I did see a few pages of it. So I'm really excited to look at it. But yes, thank you very much. Okay, so I think the first thing we'll try is the Stabilo Woody 3-in-1 pink pencil. Let's just see what this is like. Ooh, it feels amazing. It is reminiscent of using, I would say it's more like a wax crayon or perhaps a Neocolor crayon, something like that, rather than a pencil. Just see what that's like. Does it smudge? Actually, it doesn't really smudge. I'm surprised because it feels really soft. Like, you know, if you did that, it would smudge. But as you can see, it really hasn't. Ooh, I like that about it. It's a really nice colour as well. as I said, I'm not sure about the light fastness of these, so I'm thinking that what I might do is do a light fast test. I'll do a swatch and put it on the windowsill for a few months and we'll see how it fares. But for now, I will use that in sketchbooks just to add an extra layer. Yeah, I really like that. I like the feel of it. Obviously, there's no way you could do any kind of like detail with it. So it's very much for laying down, you know, big areas of colour or adding some bold gestural marks. But yeah, that's quite interesting. For £1.40, I think that's worth experimenting with. So yeah, I like that. I like the feel of it and I like the colour. So I'm pleased with that. So let's try, which one should we try first? I say let's go with the Derwent Lightfast Oyster. This looks like a very, very pale pink, slightly lilac-ish. I don't know how much this is going to show up, but let's swatch it anyway. I'm loving the Derwent Lightfast, by the way. I don't have anywhere near as many of them as I do like the Luminance or the Polychromos, but they're a really nice pencil. They remind me a little bit of the Luminance in some ways. That's a very pretty colour. Just bring that closer so you can have a look. Be interesting to layer this one. Perhaps. I've said this before in my videos, but the Luminance Pink White pencil, when it's layered over the dark indigo, has a really interesting effect. It kind of brings out all of the blues because the Luminance Dark Indigo is almost black. And when you go over with the Pink White, it actually brings out this electric blue colour sometimes. And it's really interesting for creating like marks and texture over the top. So I wonder whether this one would do a similar thing. I mean, we could actually try it in a moment. If I just, let's actually concentrate on just doing the pinks first, and then I'll do the Midnight Black, and we'll see whether that layers over it in the same way. Right, this is the Dusky Pink. I thought that this looked like a really beautiful colour. Yeah, that's slightly more of a, what I would call a vintage pink. Very soft. Has a slight, I would say, orangey kind of look to it. It's very much a warmer pink. Yeah, that's a beautiful natural looking colour. That's one I could use quite a lot in my landscapes, I think. Very nice. I'm curious to see the Ultramarine Pink. Let's give this a go. These pinks are all quite different, aren't they? Oh wow, look how bright this one is. Oh, this does remind me of my only tube of M. Graham watercolour paint I have, which is, funnily enough, the Ultramarine Pink. Incredibly similar. That is vibrant. Really nice colour. I'm not 100% certain what I'm going to be using this for, but I was just attracted to it because, as I said, I'm getting much more into violets and lilacs and that kind of end of the colour spectrum. And so, yes, I'm very, very keen to experiment. So be interesting to see what I can do with that one. I mean, I can imagine this one definitely in my current landscapes. And this, obviously, it's so subtle, I can use that quite easily. This one's going to be a bit more of a challenge, so we will see what I can use that for. But let's see how similar or dissimilar it is to the Sea Fog, the Holbein Artist Coloured Pencil. So I'm going to swatch that underneath. Oh, this is a lovely colour. That is really beautiful. Yeah, that's right up my street. That's kind of a heathery type of colour. Much more subtle, muted. They do look pretty together though, don't they? I'm really liking the look of all of these together. Very nice. Yes, thank you, whoever suggested that. That is a really, really nice colour. I can see why you like it. Okay, so the Mars Black. Let's just go back over here. Sorry, this is such random swatching. Ah, yeah, this is a really warm black. I can see that it has a very slight kind of brown tone to it, I think. See how heavy we can go with that. Let's just go over that bit again. Oh, that's nice. That reminds me, it's more like a kind of dark sepia. Do you see that? That's a really nice colour. Yes, the same person recommended this one to me. I like that. Thank you very much. These two colours are going to be colours that I will definitely use. I really like them. They are right up my street. And so here's the Midnight Black. This is the one that I already had and forgot I had. I didn't realise that it was called Midnight Black. But it's, as you can see, it's sort of a cooler, more bluish black. Slightly reminiscent of the dark indigo Luminance. Let's go over that, see whether we can build it. Yeah. I'm just curious, actually. Let's just hold that up so you can see the difference between them. There you go. Just have a look and see whether this Oyster that reminds me of the Pink White Luminance. Ah, yeah. If you go over the Midnight Black, do you see how it's... Is that picking it up on camera? The blue really comes through. So it's very interesting to do, like when I'm doing like a mountain or a hill, I sometimes do these little, like almost like grassy kind of marks. And it just adds another layer of texture. I'm not sure how well that's coming through. But yeah, it's funny how this does a very similar thing. So it's not quite as electric blue, it's more of a sort of softer, sort of a verging on a teal almost, I think. But yeah, that's interesting that you can layer that in the same way. I wonder, actually, let's just have a look. I'm just going to get rid of the Midnight Black that is on it. Just get rid of that and just see, we go over this. Yeah, brings out like a really lovely pink on that one. Just tilt that so you can hopefully see. I don't know how much that's showing up on camera, but yeah, that's interesting. I really like these very pale pink pencils. You can create some interesting effects with them. I don't know if it'll have much of an effect on. No, they're better over darker colours. It's good for adding a little bit more texture and interest. Okay, let's get on to swatching these watercolours and just seeing what they look like. Let's get one of my little mixing ceramic dishes. Let's try the Perylene Green first. Just open this very carefully because, oh no, look at that. It's clean as a whistle. Squeeze out the tiniest amount because this is a very strong colour, so I know we won't need much. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's a nice Perylene Green. Well, it is slightly different from the Roman Schmall version. That's hard to say. The Roman Schmall the Roman Schmall version. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Okay, let's just do like this. Oh, I haven't got much water, have I? By the way, I used really cheap paper to swatch on. This is just a very, very basic watercolour pad that Arteza, is that how you say them? Arteza, they gave me, a couple of years ago now. And I just tend to use it for my swatches and just, you know, roughly testing things out because I prefer to use slightly better watercolour paper for my proper paintings. But yeah, look at that. What a beautiful colour. Just bring that up so you can have a look. The colour of a pine forest. What should we use next? Should we use Viridian? let's try this. And let's put that on the other side there. So yeah, I think I might be getting into greens. Watching that video of Aliona's, I was just so inspired, and I had a bit of affiliate credit, and I thought I will basically just go and get some. Yeah, that's a very pretty colour. It's very gentle, sort of watery green. Oh, I like that. Very subtle. See, I don't really use Viridian very much. And as I say, this is the only Viridian watercolour I have. That is beautiful. It looks really nice with the Perylene Green. Okay, let's get another little mixing dish because we haven't got room on there without them getting sort of contaminated. Oh, this one looks much more opaque. This is the Chromium Oxide Green. This is reminding me a bit of gouache in its consistency, actually. Oh wow, it is. It's really like gouache rather than watercolour. Oh, I must be the messiest swatcher on YouTube. Oh, that's really nice. Sorry, I say that about everything, don't I? I just love colours. I see good things in most colours, to be honest. They look lovely together. I'm really liking just greens together. I'm very tempted to put together just a greens palette in one of these little tins, just to put a little collection of half pans in there of different greens and just have a greens palette, because I think to me, to get me into greens, really into greens, I'm kind of into greens a little bit. I'm going to show you something in a second, but I don't know, to get me into using more green in my paintings, I think I just need to see them all together, because that's what inspired me when I watched Aliona's video. I was going to show you this actually while I have it beside me and I'm thinking about it. Do you remember in the previous video about my watercolour palettes, I shared this one, and it looks a bit messy actually, doesn't it? So I put this palette together based upon the palette I shared in my April favourites video, and these were just colours that I was finding really inspiring together. And it just happened by accident when I was swatching out all of my watercolours to decide which palettes they were going to go into, how I was going to arrange them. I have other videos on this, by the way. If you're interested in that, just go back and look at my videos from the past month or so, and you'll see lots of watercolour palette videos where I talk about all of this and putting them together and so on. But yeah, I saw them all swatched out and I was just like, I really like how the greens and the pinks are looking together, and then if you mix them in with these like bluish grey kind of colours, I just thought it was really inspiring. So I put together this little collection and I asked you whether you had a name for it. And there were loads of really excellent names. So many of you came up with good names for this palette, because I said it reminded me of it's kind of like a botanical palette, but I wasn't sure what to call it. And I had a couple of suggestions for something along the lines of Night Garden palette. And honestly, that's totally what it reminds me of. So if you're one of the people who said to me Night Garden palette or something along those lines, because the wording did vary slightly, I think that's what I'm going to call this palette. But I'm kind of tempted to swatch out these greens that I've got here today and just see whether we make any adjustments to this palette. If I do, that will obviously be in another video. But yeah, the greens I have in this palette are the Daniel Smith Fuchsite, the Winsor & Newton Professional Aqua Green, Schmincke Horadam Forest Blue, Daniel Smith Rare Green Earth and Daniel Smith Swatching, which is really a dark greyish green. But yeah, I tend to go for these very moody dark greens, or at the opposite end of the spectrum, something really bright and pastel-y and quite vibrant. So I'm tempted to see how I could perhaps fit the new greens in. We will see. This palette might be subject to change, but Night Garden palette is the perfect name for it. Thank you. If you suggested that, thank you so much, because that's what I'm going to go with. But I loved so many of the suggestions. I thought they were really interesting. Right, so let's just try this Prussian Green. Gosh, this one feels really full. Look at it, it's full to bursting. I'm a bit concerned that this one's going to spurt out when I open it. Oh, it's not too bad. No. Just put a little bit of that one on there and have a look and see how blue this one looks. Oh wow, it really is quite blue, isn't it? Oh, that's a stunning colour. Yeah, definitely not as green as the Daniel Smith Prussian Green. You need to get a clear idea of what this is. This, to me, looks more blue, but it is a gorgeous colour. And one that will be good in my palette. But we'll see. It may dry slightly more green. But aren't they looking really nice together? Loving that. Okay, the last two, let's try the Daniel Smith Sap Green. Oh, this really is gonna, yep. In fact, it looks like, I would say someone has opened this before. It certainly looks like they have, although it's completely full, so it's not a problem, but it's all kind of come out into the lid, and it's all round in the thread there. Whether it was just like that, or they just filled it at the factory and it was just really full. But yeah, Daniel Smith paints do tend to do that. They tend to explode out. I mean, it's good that they give you so much of the colour. Okay, so Sap Green, I'm going to be honest, it's not a green I would normally go for. I did years ago when I used to paint more realistically, I guess you could say. My painting wasn't so stylised. But yeah, it's not something I have used recently because it's quite a yellowish green, and as you know, I like bluish greens. I like the cooler greens, generally speaking. But I thought if I'm going to have a nice palette of greens, oops, this one could be a good one to have in there with them. And yeah, it does look good. Okay, we've got the lemon yellow. Just going to put a bit of that on there, and we will see how bright this is. I'm a little bit worried because my water has gone a little bit green. Let's try not to contaminate it too much, but I'm not going to go and change the water for this final one. Yes, it is a bit contaminated. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to have to go and change the water for the final one because we're not going to get a true idea. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back, and hopefully with clean water. So let's just do the lemon again, and hopefully we will get a true impression of what it actually looks like. Because as you can see, just from my water, it contaminated it, and it looks more like kind of lime green or something. Actually, it's quite a nice colour. Well, there we go. We could mix it with the sap green or something like that, and I think it would make an interesting colour. But yeah, this is more, yeah, this is going to be much more accurate. Okay. Let's, oh, that is beautiful. Very fresh and zingy. That's really nice. I know this is so unusual for me to have this kind of yellow, but as I said, I I was looking at other people's artwork and how they were using yellows, and I actually thought I really like this super bright, fresh looking one. So there we go. There are my swatches, the 6 paints and the 7 pencils. Yeah, 6 pencils and the woody crayon thingy. But look at those, aren't they gorgeous colours? Do you know what I love? Is the fact that since talking to all of you, making these videos and having your feedback, you're kind of pushing me into experimenting a little bit more with my colours, which is really nice. And watching other YouTubers like Aliona is giving me ideas as well. And yeah, also being able to have the affiliate credit has been wonderful, because I would not normally spend this much money on different paints. So all of that is really lovely. And yeah, so that's the end of the swatching for today. Do you have a favourite colour? What's appealing to you? I'm really liking the Prussian Green, although I wouldn't say it's green. It definitely looks blue to me, but it is a really beautiful blue, and it's right up my street. So it is drying. I mean, it doesn't seem to be looking any more green, but I don't know, we'll wait until it's dried fully and see what it looks like, but I think it's going to be quite blue. Anyway, I'm loving these. That was really fun. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. What else can you do? Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the little notification bell as well. YouTube keeps saying, tell people to click the notification bell. So yeah, please click the notification bell. And then apparently you're notified of my videos, but only do it if you want to. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and it's been a pleasure as always. I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye for now.